Now that I finished posting most of the recordings that I did, I still probably have at least 20 that I have not posted. And I'm not sure that I am going to, because what I found is that the more I thought through things as they are, actually, I started to get very depressed. And then I know, as they say, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? And every now and then I'll read a story about success. I just finished reading the tweak about the success of the Promise School in Akron, Ohio, and the kids. And of course, that is very encouraging. But I don't know, maybe I've just gotten too old and pessimistic, because I remember all of the stories and all of the education that came out of the 60s, and all of the not only Black people, but many Black people, as I said, have master's degrees and PhDs and all of that. But as that happened, the middle, or from lower to middle, became more educated. And then at the top, the bar was raised to really enter the room where you really make a difference and really make changes. And that I see as the real problem. Until that mentality is changed with the power makers, with the coup, honestly, there will be more of the same. Now, redoing the entire education system, as I said in one of my recordings, and training from kindergarten through might change some of that mindset. But then you still have the old powers who are training their children. And as we know, with Donald Trump, haters came out of the wall. I mean, they'd already been there, but they got permission to show their face. And it turned out that it's a huge number of them. And that number is training their children, and so forth and so on. So that was why I thought, if you start with each child and teach each history, you can change the mentality to somehow, at a very early stage, across the board, create a moral compass. Because we don't have the Bible in the school. We don't have a lot of things that just kind of instill having a moral compass. And so I know you have to start, and you have to do what you can do, and you have to feel good about the little progress. But the thing about knowing history is you see how in some cases it matters, and in others it really does not. So what I'm afraid of is, as the new generation comes up, then the coup decides to counter it, and there's always a counter. So until we change the way we have somehow instilled a moral compass, I don't know if things will ever change. And that top, which fights like hell to stay there, I believe that will continue. And as long as the system is as it is, it will be more and more and more challenging to get out of the herd and really be in a position to make a difference. And once you get out of the herd, then you are somehow roped in where you find it necessary to stay there. You have to fight to keep the status quo to stay there. So with that, I don't know if I'll even be able to post anymore, but it does say why it is so important for the young people to get in the change, because they're not as jaded. They don't know. They have not experienced many things like I had not. The reason I tried so much is because I just didn't believe, the ugly ones would come out of the woodwork and challenge me and take me down business-wise, as they did. No one could have convinced me that would not have been a way that I could have avoided that. And there was no way. So kudos to the young. Just keep it going and keep it going. At least that way, maybe we keep the system from totally tumbling over into some really, really dark places.